And OK, that's helpful. This is going to be a presentation that is not going to be as technical as the other one, so I'm not going to use too many acronyms. I'm going to split the presentation in three main parts. One is the approach to technology that we have. The previous one, how we are moving into a different paradigm. The second one, I will tell you a little bit about what is the Valencia use cases. And the third one is about the Valencia Sandbox in order to test new solutions and deployments. If we look at how do we do things in the past regarding technology, what we face is that we always look at technology from different parts. Doesn't mind if it's a corporate or if it's a municipality, depending on the area where you are talking to, human resources, IT guys, business, or marketing, they will look at the same technology from different ways, and they will point out different names, but it's really that they agree on the use case or in the potential solutions that we have. Looking at that, also, if you are familiar with programming, the swing issue is what we don't have a common background. So when we explain things with different concepts, it doesn't mean the same thing for everyone because we don't have a baseline. That is one of the points that I always like to highlight. So be able to explain things in an easy way, like a child and an elder people. So it will help us a lot. And every time that we talk about technology, we always, if you have a hammer, every single problem is a nail. Sometimes we have to be more flexible from both sides, customer and also providers. So that it was what it used to be. Now, what I like to do always is never look at the problem you have based on the data you have already. Because if not, you have a bias regarding the potential solution. So when we look for a potential solution, we have to look into which elements can be able to provide the answer. Also, remember that we collect data, but that data has to be organized into information. In the way we organize the information will allow us to make decisions somehow, but always remember the storytelling, because the narrative is what gets you into the business case or into the internal sales to your own users. When we talk about a municipality or a different corporate, sometimes we have a new deployment. What we look is, OK, we have a final solution, and we are going to use it. But you have many silos in technology. You have many ancient solutions that they are still working. So how do we integrate them? The main thing is we have to get into data architect as well. And we always talk about three different phases. So I allow to ask about IoT. So in order we collect the data, but we have to make a potential insight in order to be able to provide the answer and automate the solution. So sometimes when we look at the cities, we have many potential use cases. So I have a friend here who always asks me, what I miss are the use cases. Which are the problems? Because if you have a solution, you are not going to listen to the problem, and you are going to sell your solution by default. So these are the things that we need to listen to the cities or to the potential customer. We also have the old way to do things and the potentiality of IoT in order to adapt and be faster, be more agile. Also in real-time response, easy deployment, connectivity. And there is always a quote about the different astronomy ways, to look to the stars once a year or have a big Hubble telescope where you can look at the universe. So that's almost similar way. We are going to jump now into the second part. This is from our colleagues from the Valencia Smart City Office. So Juan Lucas is going to be around here, who is one of the main leaders of the solution. When we look at the evolution of the municipality, I just to give you a short overview, we start from 2008 into a new planning, a new design. We move step by step into a smart city, and now we are moving also into the different strategies, so enable to be more proactive, and the IoT is going to play a capital role. When we look at the way we connect with different projects, the city has the standard ongoing process, but also we participate in European projects in order to deploy new solutions and to have access to new technology or new or new solutions especially, and also to know the different scenarios from different cities as ours. These are the main projects we have. This is the Smart City Office, if you just want to check it out. And the main thing regarding IoT, let's hear, is the connectivity and also the deployment for 5G and IoT that we have. So it's a complex ecosystem of different solutions and data. And also, there is a couple of portals that we always provide answer or information. One is based on GIS information portal, and the other one is what we call the Valencia app with a specific, so where you have the poles of the city. For every single street, you have all the information dumped and organized from traffic lights, lighting, or every kind of casualties or accident that can happen or emergency in the city, like roadworks as well. Also, what we have here is Valencia on real time, Valencia al minute, so where you can check the different values and indicators or KPIs. Are we going okay on time, more or less? OK, that's good. So keep moving on. I have my homework. My colleague told me that I have to tell you always about the platform that Valencia is using, the PNE 178104. So he told me that straight or right away that if someone is working on this specific standard, you can contact us, and we'll be happy to answer any kind of request or collaboration. So once it's done, what we have especially with IoT is the building management system. There is a project that we deploy with different public buildings, from schools, markets, sports facilities, and I suppose to forget one of them, but there is about 194 buildings, and they are connected following this standard. The main thing is be able to manage them all in a single way. We are looking also for different collaborations and alliances, and that is one of the reasons why I'm here. So when we look at the collaborations we have, we always like to say that if you want to leave early, you leave alone. If you want to get far, you get with more people. Or if you don't have the money, you have to look for alliances. Any of them is valid for me. So these are the different European projects. Some of you are related, like Victor, in one of the projects that we are going to look at them. Also, you have the different topics that we are studying and analyzing in the project. They will be in common with the different sessions and thematic keynotes you are going to have through the day. Also, the other one is regarding digital twins, and always that we talk about information is correlated from one to the other. This one is also from the Valencia City Council. That's the main thing. We work with different cities. We try to test different solutions, and we try to learn from each other, and also to get in contact with the main agents. This is the main case from Valencia City Council, Connecta Valencia. I just give you some figures about how it's done. That's a high voice. So what we look here is about the 194 buildings, and the main idea that what we get with this kind of projects. We get energy savings, we get the CO2 print reduction, also we get use efficiency, and the main thing, we get all the information in a BIM model that will allow us to manage the buildings and also the information. And as you can imagine, if we are just deploying this solution for these buildings, more buildings will come later. It will improve the situation from both perspectives, technical but also economic side. This is the project. This has been granted by Red.is and also by the European Union. Sorry for the slide. I believe that it was getting better. That's the information about a sports facility in Malvarrosa. So what we get is the information from all the different alerts. And also, this one, you have the different devices over there. And the information is an IoT node. You know IoT nodes better than myself. But the main idea is collect all the information before to make a dispatch to the main repository of data and be able to make the automatization of that. These are the main figures for the different museums, markets, schools, and sports facilities. It's a project that we collaborate with different public administrations. It's not only the Valencia City Council. When someone asks me about use cases and the difficulties you have, if you are working with one administration, you have bureaucracy. If you are working with more than one administration, even if you belong to that, it's more paperwork. And the latest, and we are still on time, okay, is the Valencia Urban Sandbox. We already have 1 year of life. This is a regulatory sandbox. So what do we have here is this initiative. There is a regulatory process. What we have is about 140 resources from public buildings into schools. So almost every single thing that you can look in a city to test different solutions. It's a perimeter base. It's not just one location. Even it can be tested at Larinera, that is 500 meters from here. Also at Las Naves, but we have all the sports facilities. We have the city. We have events. We have different, also the digital twin. We have the open data portal. So if you want to test a solution in a real life environment, you can test it using the Valencia Urban Sandbox. So what we talked before is public space, public facilities, and city events. Some of the interesting points, mostly for the telco companies, maybe for some IoT as well, are events like this one, like the Marathon of Valencia. So you can have a big concentration of people, also mobile devices, wearables, or whatever kind of stuff with an emergency situation, with local police, with all the management of a potential event, just through the Valencia Urban Sandbox. Later, but not last, I would like to thank you for your attention, but also remember that my colleague Juan Lucas and myself are available for any request or any collaboration based on the Valencia protocol standard we are using. So, thanks.